Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ken, I'm also known as the Phoenix, and today I really wanted to talk about authenticity. You know, I was sitting here, I was just reminiscing upon my channel. I've mentioned it before, I'll say it again. I have been on YouTube for over 10 years. I've had different names throughout the years, and I started off as a Let's Play channel, and then I was never really consistent. The big thing that I've had trouble with as a creator is being authentic. Because when I do a production, I start getting really in-depthly obsessed with production values. So a couple years ago, I actually had rebranded and went to a name called Phoenix Rising, spelled with an F. And the reason that it was Phoenix Rising is because, as I mentioned before, I'm like a phoenix that rebirths every now and again, right? I've reinvented myself time and again, and that is why I eventually settled on this name that I have here today. But under Phoenix Rising, I was, again, Let's Playing, and I had wiped the channel clean of all my old stuff because, again, I was very inconsistent, and I had started, I wanted to start brand new, so I started live streaming all the time on Twitch. This was back in 2019, and then into 2020, 2021, I kind of switched from streaming to mainly just uploading very long form gameplay videos. But again, it was one of those things that I wasn't doing it out of pure enjoyment. Because while I was a kid, I really enjoyed playing video games. As I grew up, I just, it's something that I enjoy less and less as time goes on. You can give me an open world game like Cyberpunk that's really good, and it has like almost 100 hours of content, and when I was 12 to 15, I would have loved that. I would have spent so much time playing the game, but now I don't even really want to play it. I put in like 10 hours when it first came out, and even that was kind of a chore. Granted, the game was not the best at that time. It still needed to cook a little bit before it reached final form. But, things didn't really pick up for me at all until I just took some advice from someone I found on YouTube, and they said, whatever it is you want to do, just turn the camera on. You don't have to be perfect. And it was only once that I had the GoPro and have been taking these types of videos that you actually see the authentic version of me come through. Because there are even some videos right as I was transitioning from Phoenix Rising over to AKA the Phoenix that you could hear me say these canned phrases, and they don't sound authentic. They don't roll off the tongue very easily. I was just trying to be cutesy with it, and again, authenticity was preventing me from just doing what I want to do, and that is spread the message. Spirit has been telling me for so long, just spread the message. But I didn't want to do it with my cell phone. I didn't want to do cell phone videos. So, I invested in this GoPro for multiple reasons. And here we are finally, after so long of me having the GoPro and identifying problem after problem after problem, and me finally answering that problem after, providing solution after solution after solution, that here we are, where I can finally just authentically turn the camera on and speak, and I am over that mental hump where I need to be perfect. I'm over that mental hump where I need to consistently be speaking and filling the silence, right? Silence in speech is very powerful when used correctly. So, I'm really happy with my new approach, and I think more importantly, I'm doing it more and I'm seeing growth because you can tell I'm enjoying it. I enjoy making these videos and coming to you all live. I really do. Well, I say live, it's kind of within a couple hours of me making the video, or within a day or two, if we're being completely honest. But in the moment when I'm recording, it is live. It is just essentially my thoughts and how I feel and wanting to spread a message. And that ultimately is the key. That is the key to life, the key to happiness, the key to success is just to do what it is you want to do, what brings you joy, and do it in a way that makes you happy. I think there's too much on YouTube that is inauthentic, and I think the way that those overly perfectly produced videos have done is they saturated the market, and that is a reaction. You see that as a viewer, right? You see that every channel out there is mimicking. I don't want to throw this guy under the bus, but like, you know, you call it a Mr. Beast production. Now, he's not the first one to do it. That's just basically your average network TV or movie industry. You're just overly producing a video, making it squeaky clean, but it makes it feel inauthentic. And on a platform called YouTube, you have people that are being inauthentic. And I think that's why now we are seeing this rise of less perfect production, just people being candid. People like to connect with people. That's all there is about it. People like to connect with people. People come to this platform to see people, just regular people, just putting content up. That's why we watch people like, one guy I used to love watching was Trev's Chan 2. Because I was huge into The Walking Dead. I loved putting his videos on, putting them in the background and listening to him talk. Now, there was stuff that I disagreed with. I didn't enjoy him, you know, saying like, you know, they could do a full season's worth of filler and it'd be fine. Like, I don't like filler content in any TV show that I watch. But again, just like with video games, movies and TV shows are something that I am ingesting much less of. Anytime anymore, I usually am listening to meditation music, I'm listening to an audiobook, a podcast, or I'm doing the old school thing and just enjoying silence. Because I really do enjoy just good old nature. I enjoy the old ambient surrounding. You see me looking off camera right now. I'm just watching this guy slowly stumble through the streets. I don't want to put him on camera, but, you know, here we are in the middle of the city, so you can never be too certain, and it is getting nice out. So as I said, the crime rate is almost at a point where it has to catch up to itself, right? It has to make up for lost time, and so we're going to be seeing a lot of addicts roaming the streets now. You know, I've seen wobbly addicts that are very questionable. There have been people attacked outside of the job site. So again, head on a swivel, and just trying to do my own authenticness, right? And that's my struggle in the spirit of authenticity and transparency. You know, I am dealing with that PTSD from suffering a close call in a carjacking incident where I fought the carjacker off, took his gun, and then found out he was 17 and was facing 130 years in prison. So I let him plead guilty as a minor and basically gave him a second chance at life. So I essentially saved his life twice, even though he not only tried to take my car and my things, but my life. So here I am working 3 blocks away from that point, that area, and so I definitely am always keeping my head on a swivel. Winter is nice. It is a nice respite for my mind and my soul, because again, you get people, questionable people. Any single one of them, someone high on something could just suddenly want to rob you, right? So just head on a swivel, be safe. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The best way to ensure your safety in this chaotic planet and plane of existence, the 3D matrix, is to be skillful in violence. But be sure that you are conscious when doing it. There is balance always in everything that we do. So be self-defensive. Do not instigate the fight. And once the threat has been disarmed and there is no longer a threat, you just let the situation die. Right? Die down, right? You just combat it quickly, neutralize it, and then fill the void with peace, with love, reinforce positivity, after you've diffused the situation. That's what I did. It's worked out for me very well. And I'm a very balanced individual. You know, I talk about the paranormal instances that I've gone through, right? All my paranormal activity. And I think I'm a pretty well-balanced person. And that's what, I'm going to shift gears here and talk about that project that's coming up. That's the one thing that I want to do. I want to prove to people that not only did I go through all of this, and this stuff does exist because I know, because it happened to me, but I'm also a really balanced and level-headed kind of guy. And while, yes, I can contemplate all these things that are out of the realm of normal thought, I just promote balance and staying level-headed and not giving in too much to your emotions in that case. Because once you prove yourself to be inauthentic and a liar with this case, like a lot of people are like, I'm going to catch this activity on camera and then I'll be making a lot of money and it'll be lucrative, and then their motivations are off. You know, they're not being authentic. Their intentions may have started off as pure and authentic, but then, you know, money kind of gets involved and it makes them, you know, a little less than truthful. And once they kind of bend and they're like, well, I have to get views, so I have to fake something. And once you're outed as a faker, then everything you've done or said or experienced up until that point has to be questioned. So you won't find me doing any of that. If I do catch something, which I don't think I will, it's very seldom that I do have an experience. At least in that house it was. You know, it comes and it goes, you know, and I'm experiencing random stuff in the house now, but nothing crazy, nothing like when I was in my dad's house. So, but yeah, anything that you do see during that filming will be authentic. And I'm not going to play up anything for shock value or factor or try to sensationalize anything. That is why I distrust most of the media sensationalism. Again, authenticity, balance. We want to see the truth. We don't want to be duped and manipulated, but we also want to be entertained, and people driven by money want to be at the top. So I am driven by authenticity, and I have seen that growth immediately reflected back as I continue to give you my backseat sermons, right, as I like to call them, and kind of mockingly so, in a loving way. It's funny. I like to poke fun at myself. But yes, I don't have much else to add for today. But if there's anything that you want to do, the only thing that I can implore you all to be is your authentic self. Because being you is a gift. It truly is. And that's something that took me a very long time to embrace. But once I embraced who I am, things got better. I accepted who I was and I became happier. And that's something that I wouldn't have gotten had I blown up on Twitch, had I blown up playing video games on YouTube. I would have just created my own prison in a sense, and I think that's why a lot of rich people are unhappy, is because they're not living their authentic lives. So where you put your attention is where you place your energy, and being yourself is better than faking something that you're not, because that will also create a deep displeasure with yourself. So if you are authentic, I want you to put that in the comments right now. I am authentic. Would like you to like and subscribe and share this so we can manifest the best timeline as we continue on through the convergence, and I do eventually show you all this paranormal stuff that I have to show you. Live with balance and propagate the best timeline, everyone. That's all I got for you today, though. So again, live your authentic life and be happy. My name is Ken. I'm also known as the Phoenix, and I will see you next time.